and I get misgendered. I don't understand it. The police will always refer to me as Sir Rosa. So so this is I'm doing a screen recording. I'm being called misgendered and everything. I'm just here, uploading videos of abuse by this Eric Adams police force against me as a black African. And all of a sudden the police started coming by me. Yesterday also a black American stopped by me while I'm here uploading video to the YouTube, and she was like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" I was recording video sending to YouTube, and she stopped by, and I wasn't talking to her. I was just recording video here on Leonard and Church Street. So I'm being bullied. I'm being done access to the bathroom. They arrest me in the bathroom. They make fake 911 calls as soon as I'm using the bathroom. So every bad thing that's happened to black Americans in this country, whereby racist whites will make fake calls against them and get them arrested, they're doing everything to me under Eric Adams. And they denied me shelter at the Roosevelt Hotel. The black Americans workers, they wouldn't let me come into the shelter. So, as someone that was vacated, and there was a settlement agreement entered that anybody vacated from their home has to be given shelter, provided adequate shelter, a proper shelter. They denied me I was even willing to take the substandard Roosevelt Hotel shelter, even though I'm entitled to more better housing because I was vacated by the Department of Buildings. So I'm supposed to get a real standard private hotel room. But I was even willing to, to lower the required standard, and the black Americans wouldn't let me get into the Roosevelt Hotel. They were just mocking me, menacing me. Once I brought a U.S. soldier, unwarranted provocation like that. So it's like, it's like I'm being followed and I'm getting jumped. I can't use the bathroom. They'll have people make a fake 911 calls. And the Nigerian embassy wouldn't help me either. It's like they want the situation to deteriorate, and they say, because if somebody's killed like that, then they can have somebody deputized and get money from the city of New York as compensation. And they say a lot of this, like Nigeria now, they're having a money balance issue. They need a lot of foreign exchange. So then, I reported this to the Nigerian embassy. They promised to help me, and they failed to help me. This was in July 2019 when I was falsely arrested by the NYPD and put in psych ward after my mother was put in the psych ward and killed. Our daughters went and arrested her in the hospital and told the hospital to put her in the psych ward. While my mother was going through heart disease treatment at Bellevue, and she was hiding where she was because her daughters were acting very aggressive towards her, and she said she didn't know how her daughters were able to find out what hospital she was in. She was being treated for heart disease, and her daughters told them, and as soon as they got in there, they were acting very disruptive, so my mother didn't want to continue her treatment at the Bellevue hospital. Because they were acting very disruptive, and they were also in contact with people in Nigeria that were trying to get my mother killed because my mother had problems with people in Nigeria. She had the Nigerian police try to arrest them. They also was trying to get the Nigerian police to arrest my mother. So our daughters were calling those people. So as soon as my daughters came to the hospital where my mother was getting treated, she said they were harassing her. So my mother didn't feel safe in that hospital. So she didn't want to continue treatment in that hospital. She wanted, to just leave in peace, and her daughter said they should put her in the psych ward. And they were trying, because my mother was having they were trying to force her to do, the hospital was trying to force her to do an elective surgery called a stent, which wasn't required. It was even the U.S. Justice Department was suing hospitals that was forcing that on patients, because my mother being an elderly person, and she was also a certified nursing assistant, so she was well aware of the medical procedures, and she knew that stent was very controversial, so she said she wanted to delay that stent. So and her daughters were just acting very reckless. So they were always acting very disruptive. They were arrested in the past as teenagers. They beat up the people they were staying with. They were put through juvenile detention. So my mother was saying, they were giving her problems. For a long time they were giving her problems since they were teenagers. And she was trying to, get them help, and they finally killed her. She tried to get them help, but she couldn't, so she finally killed her. So I think, so the police saw her, they were able to kill my mother, set her up, lied on my mother's being crazy, and had the psych ward put her in psych ward. And even address lied on me that I was crazy, put me in psych hospital in 2001. My lawyer had to bail me. They said I was having an immigration case then, and they lied on me, hit me with a car. And in Pittsburgh, my mother tricked me to go to Pittsburgh with her, and the daughter said they don't want me to come back to New York with my mother. And they were just acting very provocative. They said, they didn't want me to go for my court hearing in New York. And they hit me with a car, called the police on me in Pittsburgh, and lied on me that I had a weapon. And the police want to put me in the psych ward. And they were lying to the psych hospital that I didn't have no immigration case in New York until my lawyer in New York called that I do have an immigration case. They have to release me. So they were trying to get me deported and to miss my immigration hearing. So they've had a very violent issue. They had to arrest them in Pennsylvania, put them in juvenile detention also. Our daughters have been given a problem, and she tried to get them help, but it was very hard, and they eventually killed her. They put me in the psych ward also, and the authorities have refused to arrest them or charge them, because my mother was filing lawsuits against the NYPD, and I was filing lawsuit against the NYPD, reporting the NYPD. So I think the authorities are using this as a payback. So they're not going to let my mother get justice. So they refuse to arrest the daughters. One name is Bolanle, the other one name is Flora. So I don't even know who's sending people to attack me. Some people are also sending civilians to attack me, because I think some people think if they can harm me and kill me, then they can get somebody else to deputize for me. So in case anything happens to me, all international human rights organizations could represent me in court and get justice for me and my mother. And provided that international human rights organization hasn't denied me help in the past, and also only people that haven't denied me help in the past can get charity from any asset after they get justice for me and my mother. Anybody suffering from xenophobia like me can get charity, donation, provided they haven't denied me help in the past. So after they get justice for me and my mother, in case I'm killed or something, an international human rights organization should deputize for me. If I'm unable to continue my court case and get just for me and my mother, and my assets should then be used, the remaining asset I have should be used to give people charity that suffers xenophobia like me, provided the recipient of my charity have not denied me help in the past. And my body part shouldn't be given to anybody for procreation. I don't have any kids. I don't want have my body part to be given anybody for procreation. If I'm killed, I should be cremated right away.